was hoping this would be a longer vlog this week, but it's already Tuesday and I've not really filmed anything yet. Hi everyone, my name's Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Really quiet update because everyone is asleep. Today's video is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. It is a Vlogmas video. I'm going to be posting a new video every day in December up to and including Christmas Day. It is Tuesday night, it's technically Wednesday morning. I was meant to start this vlog yesterday. I said in the last vlog I was going to, and then I just didn't for some reason. I started a book. I started reading Wolfsong by TJ Klum. I'm buddy reading this with lots of people who I will name when I'm more awake. It's like gone midnight now, but I'm enjoying it so far. I have thoughts on it, which again I'll give you full thoughts tomorrow. I just really wanted to have a clip today so that I'm not starting this vlog on Wednesday, although technically I am because it's gone midnight. Exciting things happened today though. Me and Meg have booked our trip to New York and I'm very, very excited about it. But again, I will talk more about that tomorrow when I am more awake. But yeah, we've booked the hotel and we've booked the flights and we just need to book the theatre tickets now, and hopefully that'll be done this week. So yeah, full catch up tomorrow. But at least the vlog is technically starting on the Tuesday night. I've just got off Elisa sprints, but I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello, it is Wednesday evening now. I will actually film a clip where I'm talking to you properly. Do I have many updates though? So I started the buddy read of Wolfsong on Monday. I just about finished yesterday's pages and then I fell asleep, so I will be finishing those soon. I should have already finished it today. I should really be reading today's pages. I should be editing my video that needs to go up tomorrow. I should be doing many things, but instead what I'm doing is writing a list of musicals that I want to listen to, because I've decided that I want to get obsessed with a new musical. So I'm just writing a list of like which ones I feel like I need to listen to sooner rather than later. If anyone has any suggestions of shows that they think I've not listened to yet that I should listen to, please do leave them in the comments. But yeah, I'm doing that instead of editing the video, because what people don't say about Vlogmas, about doing Vlogmas and doing a new video every day, is you get really, really tired of seeing your own face. I can't bring myself to look at my own face when I'm editing, which is why I'm now editing every video the day before it needs to go up, which is not great. But I can't bring myself to like sit on a computer for like 3 hours editing a load of videos, because I just can't. I just can't do it. So I will finish editing this video. It's only like 10-15 minutes long, so it shouldn't take that long to edit, but I will get to it eventually. And then maybe I'll read today's pages. I'm doing very bad on the buddy read. I've not left like any comments in the group chat so far, but I'll get there. I will get there eventually. I have some travel tomorrow so I can listen to the audiobook on the way in. Exciting things happened yesterday though. Me and Meg, like I said yesterday, have officially booked the New York trip now. So I think I might have already mentioned we booked the flight, we booked the hotel. We are supposed to be booking the theatre tickets tonight, but Meg is doing something else tonight and she's having technical issues doing that, so it's putting her behind. So we may not end up booking the theatre tickets tonight, but I have been like pricing them up and seeing where we can sit, and we're going to be sat so close, which I'm so excited about for both Moulin Rouge and Hadestown. I'm very excited for it. So yeah, once we've booked that, we've got most things sorted. Then it's just like the stuff on this, it's just like the stuff on this side before we fly over. So like a hotel in London for the night before, and like travel down to London obviously. But the parts in New York that we need to have booked will be booked. And then we're basically going to book like the 2 main theatre tickets, and then the rest we're going to try and get like cheap deals while we're over there. Or just like sort of decide last minute, see what's available. It just leaves us options open a little bit more. But yeah, very exciting times. I should probably go back to editing this video. Hello, it is now Thursday evening. I have like an actual update to give you today. Not a great update though, which I feel bad about. Anyway, let's actually tell you what the update is. I mentioned earlier on in the week, I believe, that I was participating in actually, first, let's get rid of this mascara that's down my face. I mentioned earlier on in the week that I was participating in a buddy read for Wolfsong. There is a group of us doing it. So, let me start actually. So, originally it was a bigger group. 2 people dropped out before we started because they just weren't in the mood to read it at the minute. Siobhan and Catherine decided that they weren't in the mood to read it at the minute. So, it ended up being myself, Jem, Emma, Lisa, Becca, Meg, Tori. I think that's everybody. For Jem and Emma, it's a reread. For the rest of us, it's the first time reading it. I read the first 8 pages and I thought, okay, this is fine. Not my favourite writing style I've seen from TJ Klune. TJ Klune's writing style does vary quite differently between different books that he's written. And I just felt like some of the way that this one was written was quite stilted. It's because it's written from the first person point of view, and it's kind of just how that character thinks, which is fine, like I understand it, but it's not my favourite way of seeing him write. So I thought, okay, well, it's not going to be up there with like House on the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door. It's fine. Then, right, I'm trying to say this without saying spoilers. Basically, Becca ended up dropping out of the buddy read. She said there was something in the book that she didn't like, and she could sort of see that something was going to happen. And she messaged Jem to confirm that said thing was the storyline. And Jem said, yes, it is. And she said, right, I'm going to drop out. I'm not going to be able to read this. And I'm like, okay. And when she said that, I thought I have an idea of what this might be. Because if it is heading, because I was also thinking this is the direction this book is heading in. And if it is, I am also not particularly comfortable with it. And it's not like a trigger or anything like that, because I don't really have any triggers for reading books. It was just something that I was just like, I don't know if I would choose to read about this sort of story. And yeah, that storyline said is what happened, and what Becca was uncomfortable with is also what I was uncomfortable with. Because this morning we sort of got to more parts of that storyline, and I messaged her and I was like, so just to check, why did you DNF the book? And she told me why, and I was like, oh yeah, that's one I'm not liking either. I considered DNFing it, but like I said, it wasn't like an outright, oh, don't want to read this. It was like, it depends on how it's handled, but there was a combination of one particular plot element with another plot element that's more sort of typical of werewolf books, and really I should have guessed that it was probably going to be a thing before I went into it, because it is fairly typical of werewolf stories, but I just didn't. And the combination of the two just made me feel very uncomfortable throughout it. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna try and carry on reading it though, because the other parts of the storyline I was interested in. The problem is that the bits that I wasn't liking made up the majority of the book. It didn't in one respect, it's really hard to say this about spoilers, it didn't in one respect, but it was sort of ever present throughout the entire book. So it was hard for me to enjoy any of the rest of the storyline, because this was like a undercurrent throughout the entire book. But so I said on the buddy read, I'm like, okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm listening to the audiobook anyway. I'm like, I think I'm just going to power through and try and finish it like earlier than the buddy read, so that it doesn't feel like I'm sort of dragging it out for myself. I'm like, do want to see how it finishes, but I'm just going to power through. I'm not really going to give too many thoughts on here on the group chat that we had set up, which is what I've done today. I've managed to listen to the audiobook. I was travelling for work, so I listened to it on the way back, and then it's like 10 o'clock now. I've listened to it for a couple of hours when I got home. I was thinking it was a 3-star, and then we got to the final chapter, and again, it's going to be so, I keep saying this, it's going to be so hard to say it without spoilers, but basically the final chapter, well, the epilogue actually, was like this one particular theme that it had sort of been building towards all the way through, and it had this one particular like line in it that referenced why it's been making me uncomfortable so all the way through, and I'm like, this did not need to be like the culmination of this book. Like it sort of like underpinned the importance of the thing that has been making me feel uncomfortable all the way through. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't think I can give this book 3 stars. So it's ended up being a 2, which I think I've only given one other book a 2-star rating this year, and that was Crescent City, which is really like not great. For me, like I very rarely give books a 2-star, and the thing is that I've loved every other TJ Klune book that I've read, so yeah, I feel a bit rubbish about this. I will be unhauling my Waterstones edition. I'm not going to say like I'm never going to read his books again, because like I said, obviously I've liked other things that he's written. I just might be a little bit more cautious of exploring sort of his other releases and be a bit more selective on what I pick. But I mean, I'm definitely reading his next one, because that one seems to be more in the line of House on the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door. And I do have Heatwave to read that I do want to move on to very quickly, because I've just read Flashfire and I would like to complete that series. So yeah, definitely not going to stop me reading his books, but yeah, not a great reading experience. And I feel bad about that as well, because I know it's one of Jem's favourite books. But, you know, we're all going to have different opinions. And yeah, there was just, like I said, just something that made me feel uncomfortable. if anyone has read it or like doesn't care about spoilers, I can explain what it was and that made me feel uncomfortable, because I know that when you sort of see these things where people are like alluding to spoilers but not actually saying them, it can be really irritating. So I can like elaborate if people need me to, but I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible. I was going to move on to Carrie Soto is Back. Like, I was supposed to be reading that alongside the book, but I just haven't. What I think I might do instead is pick up another like Christmassy romance, just like a palate cleanser sort of thing. I've got All I Want for Christmas Is You to read. Sorry if the lighting keeps changing on this, by the way. I keep seeing it out of the corner of my eye and here. I think it's because Christmas lights are behind me. I think the camera keeps like adjusting for lighting weird. It might not actually show up when you see it on the thing, but if it does, I'm very, very sorry. Anyway, I'm gonna go because it's annoying me now, and then I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello, it is Friday evening. I have spent the evening kind of getting on top of Vlogmas stuff. I am editing my video for tomorrow because I keep like editing things on my lunch break the day that they're due to go up, which is not great. But I'm just very sick of seeing my face when I'm editing. Nobody really tells you that about doing like 25 videos in a month, is that you really, really have to just stare at your own face a lot, and it gets a bit monotonous. But I am trying to edit this. I've also planned, there's still like 5 videos left that I need to film. Basically, most things are done now for like this week, and then in the end of next week I've got a couple filmed as well, but it's just like the ones in the middle that still need doing. So I am planning all of those, and while I have planned them, I'm now editing the one that needs to go up tomorrow, and then I'm going to try and read a little bit before I go to sleep. Becca and Liv and Tori, actually now it's Becca, Liv and Tori that have ended up doing it, are running a like little mini 48-hour readathon. I think the plan is to have sprints like for the next 2 days. Becca's starting them at midnight. I may jump on, I've said it all depends on like whether I'm asleep or not, but I'm gonna jump on in the morning for sure, and then probably Tori's tomorrow evening, and then I'm on Becca's regular sprints on Sunday daytime. So should hopefully get a fair amount of reading done. I finished Wolfsong last night. I can't remember if I actually told you my thoughts at the very end of it. I think I did, maybe not. I remember saying that I wasn't liking it, but I actually finished it, and if I didn't already tell you this, it got a 2-star, which is not a great rating. Yeah, I did not love it. That Waterstones edition will be leaving my house very sadly because it's so pretty. I don't want to have to get rid of it, but it is. It's one of the things of pre-filming stuff for Vlogmas and doing like end of year content. That probably should have gone on my most disappointing reads of the year video, which is very sad. I haven't actually read anything today because I kind of just didn't want to, but I am, like I said, going to hopefully read something. I'm going to try and read All I Want for Christmas, which is a Christmas rom-com, and hopefully that'll be like a nice palette cleanser. So right now I'm going to go back to editing this video, but I just thought I would film a little bit of a clip because I've just had to film like a editing Chloe interjecting clip, so I thought I'd film a vlog clip as well, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Hello, it is Saturday. It is like 7 o'clock at night. I've had a weird day today. So there's been a low-key 48-hour readathon happening. So it's Becca, Liv and Tori that are hosting it. And Becca started with sprints at 12 o'clock midnight, did 12-hour sprints, and then Tori took over. She's still live at the minute, but I think she's ending them early. She was originally going to go to midnight. She's going to go till about 9 o'clock, I think, because she's not feeling too well. But then Liv is going to pick back up at midnight tonight and do till 12 noon tomorrow, and then Becca's going to do her regular Sunday sprints, and then Tori was potentially going to do some tomorrow evening, but I'm not sure she will now. Anyway, there's been many sprints happening. I joined at midnight with Becca, stayed on till like I think about 1:30, like I did a chatty bit, a sprint, and then a chatty bit, and then went to sleep. I then woke up at 6 a.m. and I was like, well, I'm awake now, I'll jump on sprints. So I came on sprints like just before 7 and stayed on till about 3 o'clock. I did read a little bit. I've been reading All I Want for Christmas by Maggie Knox. I'll give you thoughts on that in a second. I've also been editing videos. I've now been filming videos, which is why I'm sat with the lights and everything. But it's now like 7:25. I'm gonna watch the finale of Strictly and try and read a little bit more of this book. Although I have got a really bad headache, which is why I'm not filming as many videos as I want to, because I've still got 2 more to film, but my head is pounding. So hopefully that goes away soon. But anyway, thoughts on the book. It's okay. Like, it's a Christmas romance that is about these 2 characters who are on a singing competition, and they kind of get forced together to pair up as a duo rather than competing separately. And that sort of setup has happened. And I feel like I can see the writer wanting us to see a romance between these two, but I feel like I know nothing of these characters at all so far. Like, they're just kind of there, and it keeps being like time jumps. Like, it keeps seeing like you'll sort of see the setup for something within the competition, and then it'll jump to the week after, and it'll just be telling you what people's reaction was to it, rather than sort of just showing you the reaction in the moment. It's a very strange way of doing it. It feels very disjointed, and because of that, I feel like I'm not really connected to either of the characters or the storyline too much. So we will see. Hopefully when the romance part actually kicks in, I will start to believe it a little bit more, but right now I'm just like, okay, so you're telling me this is happening, but I don't see any of it happening. Right, I'm actually going to go though, because I think what I need to do is go and hydrate. That might be why I've got the headache, and I also need to go and eat something as well. So I will possibly check up with you guys in a little bit, but I make no promises. Hello, it is now Sunday afternoon. I'm on Becca's sprints. We're still in the middle of a 48-hour read along. I jumped on some of Liv's sprints this morning, and I'm on Becca's now, and I think Liv's doing some more this evening, and I may jump onto those. I'm not sure. I've been sort of like hibernating up in my room all weekend, and I feel like I should possibly spend some time with the family, but we will see. It depends what they're doing, to be honest, because if they're watching stuff on TV that I don't want to watch, I'm just going to come back up here and read. Anyway, and speaking of reading, I have been carrying on reading All of Christmas. I'm not loving it. Like, I just feel like there's a lot of times where things are sort of explained to you after the fact rather than just showing you what happened in the situation. We have had a time jump now, and it may be that we flesh out this part of the storyline a little bit more, but I'm not entirely sure. I just feel like the concept's okay, but I'm not really buying into the romance because I'm not seeing enough of it. But I'll finish it. It's not like one I'm going to put down. It's a really quick read, actually. When I'm reading it, I just haven't been able to today because I've been editing this morning, and editing ended up happening a little bit later than planned because in the middle of editing I broke off to book some theatre tickets with Meg. So we have now officially booked our tickets for, well, 2 of the tickets for shows that we're going to see when we're in New York. We are planning on seeing a lot more than 2 shows while we're there, but I think, as I've mentioned, we're going to have the 2 shows booked and then leave the rest of them sort of open, figuring out closer to the time or when we're actually there. So we have booked tickets to see Hadestown and to see Moulin Rouge, and we're going to see Hadestown on the Tuesday night. We get there on the Monday. We're going to see Hadestown on the Tuesday, and we're going to see Moulin Rouge on the Wednesday. We booked it based on the timings of the shows because Moulin Rouge starts a little bit later on the Wednesday, so it gives us more time in between the matinee, so it just gives us more options for different matinees to pick from that day. And yeah, we've got good seats for both of them. We've sat in the stalls, or the orchestra as it's called in America, for both of them. So it's that centre orchestra for Hadestown, so we've got like a nice view straight on. We're a little bit further back, but we're not that far. We're about halfway back, I think. And then for Moulin Rouge, we are more towards the side, but we are very close to the front. And there is, Moulin Rouge has some like extra stages around the front, so it's got some bits that sort of jut out, and there's a little side stage on the left hand side, and we're sat right in front of that one, and there are some particular moments in the show that happen on that stage, so I'm very, very happy to be sat in that seat, and particularly for the like very, very start of the show. Meg knows the exact reason why I'm very, very excited for the start of the show. So yeah, I've actually just seen that my video has finished exporting now, so what I'm going to go and do is upload that, and we've got like 25 minutes left of the sprint, so upload that and hopefully manage to actually read a little bit. I do need to make a thumbnail first, so I just thought I'd give you guys an update. Hello, it is now Monday night and I have not wrapped up this vlog. I can't remember when I last updated you. I feel like I haven't actually read anything since then. Maybe I have, I don't know. So I've got 20%, actually no, I must have read something actually. I've got 20% left of All I Want for Christmas. It's the same thoughts that I've probably already given you. I feel like the story's okay, but the execution is done very badly. Like, they're not showing you things happening, they're just sort of telling you about it after the fact. I was hoping to finish this last night, but then ended up, I was hoping to finish this last night. I was gonna like stay up after sprints, because I jumped back on Liv sprints yesterday, which I don't think I told you. I jumped back on Liv sprints and I was gonna stay up afterwards, and then ended up chatting to Liv for a while, and didn't go to sleep till late, so I didn't actually finish it. And then I was going to read it today after work, but then ended up needing to film some videos because I needed a video to go up tomorrow, so I just haven't got around to doing it. But I will finish that. That'll be in next week's vlog. I can't even remember what I read earlier on in the week, but you'll have seen that already. I read Wolf Song. I remember that. I read Wolf Song, and then I've tried to read All I Want for Christmas Is You as a palate cleanser. And although All I Want for Christmas, not All I Want for Christmas Is You, I keep adding that extra bit on the end of the title. But I tried to read it as a palate cleanser, and then that hasn't been great either. Next week I'm going to be reading Carrie Soto because I need to read it before
Christmas, because after Christmas I'm only doing rereads, and I will talk about that in next week's vlog. But I just wanted to wrap this vlog up, and it is 50 days today that I will be seeing Garant Bay in Moulin Rouge, and I'm very excited. And on that note, that is everything. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new video. Bye.